The quote that I chose for this assignment is "Love is the whole thing, we are only the pieces." And where I found this quote, it said it was by Rumi, and I had never heard of this person before, so I Googled and did a quick Google search, and I found that it was actually a poet um, who was born 807 years ago. And I thought that was super interesting, especially because I think love is a lot different today than it was 807 years ago. But I still think that this quote is very valid today. And I chose this quote. I just thought it was kind of an interesting way to think about love. We just had Valentine's Day, and actually today is mine and my boyfriend's 1 year anniversary of dating. So it's kind of just an interesting quote, I thought, for the time of year. And I just thought it was really a really unique way to look at love. So that's why I chose this. I would say that the overarching theme of the quote is love. That love is really a big thing, and the two people involved are just part of how big love is. There's a few different options I had for the imagery of this quote to represent it in the poster. And the first one I had is puzzle pieces because it's saying that we are only the pieces. I thought that would be kind of a fun idea. Another one I had is the idea of two pieces of a heart, where the text would mirror one half of the heart. And this is one that I did try and work with. I still might go that route. I think it'd be kind of cool. And it would put the focus on the text, but also show that love is the focus as well. Some more imagery that I had was something that popped in my mind was a tree and leaves, because leaves are a piece of the tree, just that the same way individuals are pieces of love. So that was an idea that I worked with as well. And then the final one that I thought was just kind of fun was a piece of cake out of a whole cake to kind of represent how individuals are just a piece of love. And I think the cadence for this quote is pretty normal. I spoke it as "Love is the whole thing, we are only the pieces." I do think that the end is a little bit slower, and I kind of plan on breaking up "we are only the pieces" a little bit to slow down the cadence and to get the individuals to see it that way. Um, the different posters I found for some inspiration are these five right here, or six actually. One of my favorite ones was this Wine City one in the top left, and I really liked the idea in this one that it almost was like pieces of a puzzle, but it was in the shape of a heart, and I really thought that that encompassed kind of the idea of what this quote was saying. And the rest were more, I just kind of enjoyed. In the Love Without Borders, I really like the bold background and the bold fonts. I think it's pretty brave to have multiple different bold objects, but it really worked in that one. And then in the bottom right, I really thought that the fonts and the different colors was super cool in the thank you one. And the other three were more just ideas for the the main point of it besides the text, just little ideas. One is the bottom left was the two people joining by a puzzle piece, and I thought that that fit with the quote pretty well. And the other two were more just about love. And then for my rough draft, I I started with the heart, and I worked with the idea of the half of heart, and I'll turn this back on to kind of see how the text I was trying to do to fit in the other half of the heart. And this was the idea that I wanted to go with. I thought that that was pretty cool, but I didn't think that when I turned the heart layer off, sorry, when I turned the heart layer off, I didn't really get the feeling that the heart was still there. So then I kind of went with the idea of the tree, And I thought that that was pretty cool, where I ended up right now. And I really like the sunset looking background. And I think I'm going to head in this direction going forward. I'm going to add more leaves at the bottom, and I'm going to finish the quote in the separate leaves to then slow down the cadence and get the direction and order of how I want the viewer to read it to slow it down. So that is what I have so far, and I'm